Hello, this is Carolyn at Carolyn's Paper Therapy, and I'm back today to show you the progress I've made on my cover for my Jane Austen Emma journal. I went ahead and put it together because I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, so I think I can describe it. As you know, I was going to use the stevia box, and all I did was cut the top and bottom and sides off, and it was just the right size for this journal. So then I covered it with this brown paper on the front, on this side, wrapped it around the edges. I've shown how to do this before, and I'll link it to a video because I didn't want to go through all this again on camera, but you cut your paper just slightly larger than your cover and kind of cut the corners at an angle and then glue it all on. Okay, so then I wasn't real happy with the tan paper that I chose, but it did make a nice cover. So I have this lace on a roll that is, I think I got it maybe in the bridal section at Hobby Lobby. And I ended up covering it mostly up, but I thought underneath it looked better than just the brown paper. So you can see it under here, and all I did was glue it on and wrap it around the edges. Then I decided that the inside wasn't what happened was these pages that I'm going to use for the front and back cover weren't quite large enough to cover all the stuff that I had done in here. So what I did was take another piece of this brown paper. It's just kind of like a coffee dyed paper, and I went ahead and glued it inside. Then I took my bone folder and made sure that everything was going to work right. Okay, then on the cover, I just inked the edges and glued down the front cover, the spine, and the back cover. So this is our cover for our journal. And what I'm going to do on the inside is, this will be the front inside cover. This will be the back inside cover. But what I'm going to do is do a hidden spine where I actually sew in the 3 signatures onto a separate piece of paper. So I printed this out from one of the background papers, and the actual signatures will be sewn into this piece right here, and then this whole piece will be glued down to the spine and onto the inside. So that will fasten your signatures in, and you won't be able to see the sewing on the outside of the journal. This is going to be a nice sturdy journal just because of some of my, I wouldn't call them mistakes, but some of my changes in my mind. I think we're going to have a nice sturdy cover on this journal, and it's going to be fat, so it'll be a good idea. And what I did on this piece here, I just cut a piece about this long, you know, just so it would come in under the front and back covers. And I put it down on the journal and made a pencil mark where the fold is. And then I had that pencil mark on 4 places, and I put a mark partway down on this side. And when I cut that off at an angle, then I use this piece of paper to cut the other angles so that all the angles would be the same. Now they're not going to show, but that's just a way to make them all the same. And I saved these little pieces because I thought I might make little tuck spots out of them. So what we'll do next is I'm going to cut the corners on my pages, ink everything, sew them into the spine, glue it into the book, and then I'll come back and we'll start to decorate this journal. So I'm going to go off now and do a whole lot of work. And I did a tutorial on this on one of my other videos. So if I don't forget, I will link how to do the hidden spine. But you can look that up on YouTube easily and see how that's done. And before I glue it in, I'll probably come back and show you what it looks like with the signatures sewn in. And then we'll glue it in there together. So I'll be back soon. I'm ready to start sewing my signatures together, so I thought I'd better come on here and just kind of give you a quick idea of what I'm doing. The signatures are all going to be mounted on this cardstock piece right here. And I had already taken a piece of paper and marked on the pages here, or I did it in here. In here on this tab, about 1 inch in and in the center. And I've already marked them on this, kind of equally spaced, given maybe you know, a 1/2 inch in between the edges and everything. So now I will go in and use this template. And I'm going to mark the places for my holes. I have my 3 signatures put together, so I'm trying to keep them nice and tight for when I put the holes in. So I'm going to go ahead and mark the 3 holes. And I think I'll go ahead and punch them while I've got this here where I can see it. So we're going to punch the 3 holes right straight through. I'm using my awl. Watch your hand. I'm having trouble getting it to go through. Okay, I need to get this. Put it down on here so I can push harder. And poke that through. The same with the marked place in the center. And the same with this one at the bottom. Okay, so we're going to do that on all 3 signatures, and also punch the holes as they're marked on here. Trying to make sure I'm seeing them right. Here's one. No, that's not right. That's not it. Let me mark the center one again. I make sure I know what I'm doing here. Okay, so that's what I'm doing, is poking all the holes. And then we will sew it together onto this piece right here. Now, I'll do the same thing with the other two signatures. And then I'm going to sew them in using this thread. And this is, I'm not sure what this is. It's some kind of thread that's real kind of heavy and almost a little bit waxed. And I'll sew it so that the strings end up on the inside and leave them hanging down so I can attach charms. I use this big tapestry needle. It has a sharp point and a big eye. And I'm going to get these 3 mounted in here, and then I'll come back and show you. Okay, I'm back and I have all the signatures sewn in, as you can see, into this back piece. And I have all the little tails left from sewing it in. So the idea of the hidden spine is that this will be glued here and you won't be able to see it on the outside of the journal. I did decide I wanted to have a ribbon for a bookmark, so I went ahead and glued in this ribbon. Again, when you're starting to look at putting something like this together, make sure everything is still faced the right way. I had to do that as I put these signatures in, and then now when we glue this in, we want to make sure that it's all facing the right direction. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go off camera. There's no need you watching me glue. And I'm going to put glue all over this and all over this. Put this down and make sure everything fits properly. And the book is going to close and everything's going to work right. And then once that's dry, I'll glue these pieces down. And then I'll glue the covers, the inside, front, and back covers over that. So I'm going to do that and then I'll come back. Okay, I'm back and I have our little journal all put together, undecorated, but I wanted to show you exactly what I did. Remember, I glued this ribbon in so that I could use it as a page marker, and I'll have a dangle on the end of it. And on the inside, where we glued down this whole, all 3 signatures mounted in this piece here, lined up our the crease so that it would fold properly. And then when you go to glue the front and back covers on, you want to leave just a little gap here so that there's room for that to close and it doesn't get in the way. So this is the construction of the book, and we've got a little bit of room for it to grow. It'll probably be like this when I finish, but that's okay too. We'll decorate the cover and the inside front cover and a couple of pages, and then I'll come back and share that with you too. But I wanted to just flip through right quick and show you what we have. The first part I kind of focused on the garden, the ladies in the garden. They love to be in the garden and read and write, play the piano, things like that. So this is the first section, and I'll just flip through. To me, that showed, you know, them walking out into the garden. And here they are in the gardens. Lots of room for writing. I'll probably put something on this page, pockets or something, because that's not a good writing surface. Here are the ladies reading, having tea, writing. This is the center of the first signature, and I left these loose so that I could put charms on there if I want to. If not, I'll tie a bow and then cut these back. Again, I'll do something on this page. They love to have picnics. In the movie, there was a picnic where they had everything on a carriage, and horses and umbrellas and all the food and everything, and they went way up on this hillside, probably back in here, to have their picnic and set up all this beautiful food for a picnic. There they are in the garden again. And they're starting to notice each other, have conversation together. When they wanted to communicate with each other, they would write letters, have someone hand deliver the letters. Oh, this, I messed up this just a bit. I meant to, wanting to use everything I had printed out. On the back side of this double-sided thing was a too bright picture I didn't want to use. And so I decided to glue it to the back here and make a pocket and then let it flip out like another page. So I didn't need to put this in the front page, but it's not going to hurt anything. This is our pocket where something can go. So you're coming through the journal and it just looks like another page. But this is double thick here on the back because I've glued this to the back and made a pocket. Okay, in the center section I did something different. Like I said, I had so many that had really bright pages, and I printed them out, so I wanted to use them, but I wanted to hide the bright pages. So what I did was I made this. And this all just folds out. It looks like a signature, but it folds out for writing on both sides. And what I did to do this was I would have this double page, and then on this side of the other one, this was the inside of it. It was a bright page, so I glued those two together to make this come together like that. I did the same thing on this side. So I thought that was pretty unique that this would fold out. You can flip through it this way, or you can fold it out and have lots of writing space. So I sewed that in as a signature. And the last signature has him proposing in the garden. It says, "My dearest Emma, for dearest you will always be, whatever the event of this hour's conversation, my dearest, most beloved Emma, tell me at once." He was wanting her to marry him. More pictures of Emma, and I don't remember his name. All the beautiful flowers and letters, dressing table. And then we have the wedding. Lots of writing space in here. These are the books written by Jane Austen on a bookshelf. And the one that we're showing Emma on this journal. And so that's it all put together, and I'll come back and I'm going to go ahead and decorate the cover and the inside front cover, probably the back inside front cover, and come back and show you a few more things. Okay, I'll be back soon. Okay, this will finish up this video, and what I'm going to show you is this is all put together now, and I think I showed you that already. And so I have decorated the cover. I used some little trim that comes in those bundles from Hobby Lobby. This I ordered from Amazon, and it is wonderful. You can cut off the little in any little sections of it and use it, or use it down the side of the page. I've used it on my spine before. I've do two different kinds. I really love this. So I put that down the edge, and I just put a little bit of cheesecloth in the word journal on the front. And I've punched a little hole up here to use a pear clip, and I'll add some lace and ribbon, and I wanted to use some music charms because the movie that I watched, or I guess the book, the women were expected to be able to play the piano, and so there was a lot of music for the dancing, the quartets of instruments playing for the dancing, and also the piano. So I wanted to have accent of musics here. And I finished one inside front page. This little piece here was in the kit, and I just used that to trim down. Well, I'll see. I put some lace, white lace, down the side, and then this on top of it. Accented it with the roses, bent up the little petals, and added some pearls. And then I wanted to include this pocket here, and so underneath the pocket I tore my music that I was going to use in this journal. This is some antique music that I have that I would never play. I went to an auction one time and got lots of piano music and pulled out the ones that I would play, and the rest of it I can use in my journals. That was before I even started doing journals, because I play the piano. So we have our little pocket here, and a journal card, or tag. And then I chose the words, "Spread your wings and fly." And then this page, I just left it as it is. Again, I told you I took my sanding block and sanded it to kind of dull down the colors a little bit. And this is some sweet little trim that I got off of Amazon also. I plan to use pretty flat trims in here, not a lot of ruffles and everything, because I don't want it to get too fat. And I want to be able to put this in the little case, the little bookcase that I'm going to make if I make all three journals. So I don't want too much sticking out the sides or the bottom. So that's all. Well, let's see, on this page I put some vellum. I finally remembered that word, over this here, and I'm going to make I used some of that same lace that I put down the side here, and I put the word Emma from the kit, and then I'm going to put this down in here, but I want to decorate it and then have something at the top, so I haven't finished that yet. So this is where I stand on the journal. There's a lot of decorating to do. That's the main thing that's left to do. It's all assembled and ready to go. I'm not sure. I may go ahead and just finish it and then do a flip through. I think the flip throughs, people really enjoy those, and I do explain enough about what I've done that it's easy to pick up on the ideas. So that is probably what I'll do. I'll get in here and decorate this up and put in all the little tags and ribbons and ephemera, and come back with a flip through. So I hope you've enjoyed this video and it's been informative for you. This is a precious kit, and I can't wait to finish this one so I can start on the next one. Like I told you, I did watch the Emma movie, and so as I go through the flip through, I will try to tell a little bit of the story, which I think is fascinating to have that information with the journal. So remember, every day's a gift. Look for the joy in each day and share it with everyone you meet along the way. No matter what we're going through, there's always blessings that are there if you look for them. And so it's important to lift each other up and share our love and joy with others. So I'll be back before you know it. I'll see you soon.